Place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is a Thursday, January 9th, 2026. And we are going to preview the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. And before we do that, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X at Pod, TikTok at Productive Conversations, and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, don't you forget to check out also on all podcast platforms and YouTube and be the best person you can be. So we got a lot of good stuff going on this week. It's been a busy week. We had the reaction to week 18 of the NFL season. We had a reaction to the quarterfinals of the college football playoff. And we had a tweet cap on Thursday we had a tweet cap on Tuesday. And then heading into the rest of the week, we have this preview of the first round of the NFL playoffs, the wild card round. And then on Friday, we have a tweet cap recapping everything that's been going on this week in this crazy world of ours. And there'll definitely be plenty to talk about. So we look forward to talking about all those things with you, and we're going to have a good time with it. So let's get to this, though. Let's talk about what's going to go on in the wild card round of the NFL playoffs, one of my favorite weekends of the year. We got games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And in terms of our reaction to these games, on Sunday, we will react to the first five games, and then a rare instance on Monday to do a very quick, and I'm saying very, very quick reaction to the Monday night game with Houston going up against Pittsburgh, and then we will preview the matchups after that. So, for the divisional round. So, very exciting. Let's start the conversation. And yeah, don't forget to check us out on Friday to discuss. And just don't forget to check us out on Friday to discuss the just don't forget to discuss with us on Friday. Don't forget to be with us on Friday to discuss what was trending in this past week, and that will be the next tweet cap. So return. We will be back on Friday to do the tweet cap to discuss what's been going on. And sadly, there's been tragedies in Minnesota with ice to talk about. We got Cher going to Dak Shepard to his face, going at him. Some dating exchanges, horses and Target, lots of stuff to get into. And we'll enjoy that. But for now, let's talk football. Let's go through all six games of the wild card round, make a proper preview, and get you ready for this weekend. And at the end of the game, at the end of this podcast, I'll have my tweets. I'll have my picks, and hopefully we win some money. And I will not be adjusting them for the. I will not be adjusting them. These are going to be my picks going into this weekend. So let's begin it. Let's talk the wild card round. We'll start with Saturday, the 10th, 4:30 on Fox. We have the Los Angeles Rams going to Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. At this time, Los Angeles Rams are opening at a steep minus 10.5 points against the Carolina Panthers. All right, we have a Rams team that people thought, and I even will say still think, can win the whole thing. Very well balanced on offense, very well balanced on defense. You have the MVP. Have the MVP in Matthew Stafford. You have the best receiver in the league in Puka Nacua. You have one of the best running back committees with Blake Corum and Kyron Williams. Devontae Adams should be back, and that will be another good thing for this offense. Their tight ends are underrated. Offensively, they're pretty unstoppable. And on defense, they rush the quarterback. They have some great secondary defense as well, and they're going up against a Panthers team that, well, even though they are division champions, they are 8-9. Give credit to this Carolina team for where they've come from. What Dave has done to revitalize that franchise, albeit a under 500 record, but they're the champions of the NFC South, and they have a really good defense. They are at home, and you have Bryce Young that people are still thinking, is he going to make a big statement? I'll say one thing: this will be the best thing to happen in his career if he could beat the Rams. But I just think that this is the Rams game to lose. They essentially do everything better than the Panthers do. The minus 10.5 is quite a large spread, even in the playoffs. And earlier this week, and I said when the spread opened at nine is minus 9.5, I will take those points. I don't know. They add another point to that. So, okay, the Rams win by 11 on the road, and it might make you sweat, but I'm still going to take the minus 10.5 points for LA. I just think this is the team. This will be my favorite going into the NFC. I think this team could come out and win the NFC outright. And while the Panthers, I'm impressed for how far they've come. I think it'll be a tough challenge because they're playing a team that could be a number one seed on paper, but some bad losses down the stretch causes them to be in this position. So I think that they're going to come out hungry. They're going to score out as many points as possible. And they can win by 11 points and give me the Rams minus 10.5 to defeat Carolina Saturday afternoon. All right, let's move on. Saturday night on Amazon Prime, 8 o'clock. We have a classic NFL rivalry, the oldest NFL rivalry, and for the third time ever, we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears in the NFL postseason. This time, the Packers are going down to Soldier Field. The Packers will be playing the Bears. Bears hosted the Packers. The Packers opening at a minus 1.5 points. We have this Packers team once again back in the playoffs, have had injury issues towards the end, and are missing their best player on defense, and Micah Parsons. We have the Chicago Bears, best season, I think, since their Super Bowl season 20 years ago. Ben Johnson comes in, completely revitalizes that culture. Caleb Williams looks like a legit quarterback now. They look really good on offense, especially. They too have a great running back committee, Manungai and DeAndre Swift. They have great weapons to go down the field. They have a electric defense. And I think the Packers, even though they're favorites, they're really good on offense themselves, and we have a returning Jordan Love. I just think the Bears have the home field advantage. They've been playing much better as of late. They played, we had a classic game between these two franchises the last time they played against each other at home in Chicago as well, and the Bears was able to create that big comeback. So obviously this game is going to be close, but I'm going to give the upset to Chicago. Give me the Bears plus 1.5 to win this and to move on to the divisional round. And I will say, if the Packers were fully healthy, especially on defense, give me the Packers. But I think the Bears can pull this off. They have so much momentum coming in. And this would be a big statement victory for Caleb Williams if he could get his first playoff victory as well. So give me the Packers plus 1.5. Okay, so the next game we got to get into, the Sunday games now begin. 1 o'clock, the AFC wildcard playoffs this time on CBS. We have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Buffalo opening at a slight -1.5. This Jaguars team, what Liam Cohen has done, especially in the last month, the Jaguars have looked freaking incredible. Really great. The Jacksonville Jaguars have won 8 straight. Buffalo has been up and down the stretch. They got a big win against the Jets to close out that stadium. But they barely held on against Philly a couple of weeks ago. The Jaguars defense is definitely their strong point, and Trevor Lawrence has looked absolutely amazing the last few weeks. The Buffalo Bills, a more experienced playoff team, first time they're on the road in a long time. I don't think they've ever won a road game in the Josh Allen era, a road playoff game. And I think this team is going to be having some challenges. So this is my bold take, and a take I'm excited for. Give me Jacksonville +1.5. I just think, first of all, would it be surprising that Josh Allen, arguably the best quarterback available in this postseason, has never been able to get over the hump. And now the quarterbacks that have given him the most trouble, especially in Patrick Mahomes, not in the playoffs this year. Lamar Jackson not in the playoffs this year. No Joe Burrow either. This is on paper, and the narrative is Josh Allen's AFC to win, get them back in the Super Bowl since the early to mid '90s, '94 specifically. And I just think they're not going to pull this off. They're playing against a really good Jacksonville Jaguars team who's very hot and who has the home field advantage as the AFC South champion. Don't get me wrong. I think this game was very good and it will even be close, but I think the Jacksonville Jaguars can run away with this and get to the next round themselves. I'm really excited to see Trevor Lawrence versus Josh Allen as well, but give me +1.5 for Jacksonville. So now we get to our next Sunday afternoon game. We got a battle between two classic NFL franchises. 4:30 on Fox. We have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. San Fran is going down to Philly trying to have a home Super Bowl matchup. Philly's opening as a -4.5 point favorite. A The Eagles are going to get healthier, especially on the offensive line with the return of Lane Johnson. 49ers to get to this spot is pretty impressive. They were competing for a first round bye. They fell short, and they didn't do much in that game at all against Seattle. While the 49ers have definitely a balanced attack, and the Eagles have been scrappy all year long, I think this game will come down to a field goal. And give me uh, the more I think about it, oh man, this is gonna be an interesting. This is gonna be a hard one. This is the hardest one to pick, especially that spread. But I'm going to take San Francisco +4.5. Make it close. I think the Eagles could ultimately win this game, especially with the home field advantage, and they've been playing better than the 49ers have recently, especially on offense. They seem to figure it out. Saquon finally getting him in the mix, and they played some tough opponents. They've held their own. I just think the spread's too much of a stretch. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles -4.5 against the San Francisco 49ers. Sorry, give me the San Francisco 49ers +4.5 against the Eagles, and the game's gonna be closer than we think. And then Sunday night's game, 8 o'clock, NBC. We have the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the New England Patriots, where the New England Patriots are the ones opening as a favorite at home. The Patriots opening as a 3.5 point favorite. The Patriots have been very hot lately, despite their off the field issues. The Chargers have been missing key players on the offensive line. They've been creating turnovers. They've even had some issues on special teams. Justin Herbert has fallen short in a lot of these playoff games. And I think he'll fall short again. Give me the New England Patriots -3.5 at home with somebody who arguably could be the MVP as well in Drake May, a returning running back committee with Henderson and Stevenson. Protect him well. They go deep when they need to. Their defense knows how to stop. I think their defense will be pressuring Justin Herbert all game long, and it will be another early exit for the Chargers, and the Patriots will move on despite all the crazy controversy happening at off the field. So give me -1, -3.5 for New England. And the last game before I just want to give a few words on the coaches' firings. We have the Houston Texans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday night. This is going to be a good one. We saw the Steelers win a thriller to get the chance to host this playoff game on Monday Night Football. Battle of two defenses, no doubt. And at this moment, it is your Houston Texans opening as a 3-point favorite against Pittsburgh. This has been a fun Texans team. They've been able to win games despite so many injuries. Still iffy on CJ Stroud this year, and they're going up against a now fully healthy Steelers defense. The Steelers get DK Metcalf back. That's going to be a big contributor on offense, obviously. And we have Aaron Rodgers, who's known to be cool, calm, and collective, who's performed well in the playoffs. And I think the home field advantage will help them perform well again. And with all that being said, I'm going to now give the Steelers the upset as well. Give me +3 for Pittsburgh, because I think that they can, while the Texans defense will keep this a close game as well, they're going to create a lot of pressure for Aaron Rodgers, and they are going to not give any separation to those weapons, and they are going to be a tough matchup. I just think the experience, the momentum, and especially big returning pieces on offense will help Pittsburgh pull off this upset. So give me +3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Texans, and that will take us into our divisional matchup. Well, let's go through the spreads one more time. -10.5 for the Rams, +1.5 for the Bears, +1.5 for the Jaguars, +4.5 for the 49ers, -3.5 for Pats, -3 for the Steelers. So let's do it one more time. Your wild card matchups: -10.5 for the Rams, +1.5 for the Bears, +1.5 for the Jacksonville Jaguars, +4.5 for the 49ers, -3.5 for the Pats, -3 for the Steelers. So again, I meant to say this programming note too. We will have reactions after every game, every day. Saturday we'll have our reaction to the first two games. I'm sorry, did I say that? Said we'll have reactions on Sunday and Monday. So Sunday we will have a reaction to the first 5 games. Monday we'll have a reaction to Houston and Pittsburgh, and we'll take it from there. So really exciting things. Just a few words on the coach firings. Black Monday, always an interesting day, always a tough day for people's families, though, because this is a day when coaches are usually dismissed. And the list right now, the Baltimore Ravens fired John Harbaugh after 18 years with the franchise. Not that much of a shock, but still pretty crazy. Raheem Morris is leaving the Falcons after 2 seasons. Kevin Stefanski was dismissed from the Browns. Pete Carroll leaving the the Las Vegas Raiders after one season. Jonathan Gator let it go after 3 seasons for Arizona. And then also earlier this year, Dayball left the Giants, and then Brian Callahan left the Tennessee Titans. I no such thing as a justified firing. I mean, I guess there is, but not in this sense. But I think this is an interesting slate of teams looking for coaches. And obviously the big one, Jim Harbaugh leaving. He seems to be a clear favorite for a lot of NFL franchises. You're even hearing reports about some teams who have coaches already reaching out to the Harbaugh camp about his interest joining them, which is nuts. And there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. There are 7 openings. 9 teams asked for 9 teams checked on Harbaugh. You wonder who they are, but whatever. Obviously, big bias, but I think the Giants. I think the Giants' job will be an extremely attractive one. Both the Giants and the Ravens are probably the most attractive, with the Giants roster on the rise, big New York market, and a team that looks very intriguing and young. They got good draft capital as well. I obviously hope it's Jim Harbaugh or Cliff King. I obviously hope it's John Harbaugh going to the Giants. He seems to be the favorite. We'll only see if Joe Shane will be smart enough to make a move to, one, get the weight off his shoulder, because a lot of people feel he should not be in this position to choose the next head coach, and he should be looking for a job as well. But if you get an established veteran head coach to help develop Jackson Dartmoor, to get this defense back on track, you will make the fans happy once again. So I hope it's John Harbaugh or Cliff Kingsbury, who's been known as a quarterback guru, help develop Mahomes and Jaden Daniels. And if he could do the same for Jackson Dart, A-OK there. So I hope to see that. The Ravens need a hard reset. 3 straight seasons of absolutely heartbreaking playoff losses. Figure out what they're going to do with Lamar Jackson, but they're still one of the most stable franchises in the NFL. Loyal fan base, still a good roster. That should be an attractive job. What could Atlanta do? Atlanta, who also, once again, if certain things went a certain way, there's a topic conversation where Atlanta's playing this weekend. I think Raheem Morris has been giving us some bad cards. He seems to at least get these players motivated, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see him hired again, and especially help a team that really needs help on defense. Maybe a Tennessee Titans would be interesting to him. I heard he's going to get interviewed there. And the Falcons clearly need an offensive coach to help fix Michael Penix and figure out the Kirk Cousins, what they're going to do with him moving forward. That's going to be interesting. Cleveland Browns, with their quarterback mess, they actually had some stability with a pretty good coach in Kevin Stefanski, but just controversy after controversy. Drafted controversial players to make noise off the field as well. I think Stefanski, wherever he goes, he's going to strive. So watch out for wherever he goes. I wouldn't be upset if the Giants even got him as well. Pete Carroll, one of the best, arguably a Hall of Famer, wins a national championship and a Super Bowl. Goes to a Raiders team in disarray, really with only 3 legit players, no quarterback, and one and done there. I think he could have done better in the right situation. He seems to be a young man in his early 70s. But Pete Carroll leaving Vegas, and Vegas getting the first overall pick this season, likely picking a quarterback, whether it's Dante Moore from Oregon or Fernando Mendoza. I think a Vegas Raiders team would be also an intriguing job to get. They haven't been good yet in Vegas, so I hope whoever goes in
makes a big impact. And I'm hearing Brian Flores coming back, leaving Minnesota, even amongst the legal battles with the NFL, he's expected to return. There's a good chance he will return to coaching, and maybe Vegas would be a good spot for them. Get a returning Brian Daboll as your offensive coordinator and get that franchise back on track. In Arizona, Jonathan Gannon just could not do anything. The Cardinals they've had interesting players, no quarterback. Marvin Harrison Jr. was a humongous prospect coming into this season, and so far he's been underwhelming. Had injuries this season as well, but you want to get that team to figure out what what they could do. They've been as irrelevant as it comes. They have the best receiving tight end in the game. They have a defense that needs a lot of work. Kyler Murray should probably move on, so they're probably looking for a new quarterback as well. So this is a good chance for the Cardinals to reset and get back on track. Then yeah, we talked about Tennessee. They just terrible all season long. Cam Ward, I still think more it needs more time to develop, but that's where I heard Raheem Morris might come in and hopefully fix that defense that needs a lot of it. So as the weeks go on, we'll see these coach vacancies get filled. And when certain coaches are hired, we'll talk all about that. So thank you for sticking with us for our wild card preview. Again, back here on Friday to discuss what was trending in our world across sports, news, entertainment, and culture. We will be back on Sunday reacting to the NFL playoff games for over the weekend, the first five, and then Monday we'll do a quick reaction to Houston and Pittsburgh with a preview of the divisional round. So lots to do there. Let's enjoy it. And we'll also have a reaction to the semifinals for the college football playoff. One's gonna be played today, and then Miami versus why am I blanking? Miami versus Ole Miss, that will be played today, and then Indiana versus Oregon on Friday. So we'll have our national championship to talk about on Sunday as well. And I can't wait to do all of that with all of you. So all the love. We'll see you next week with a busy week with reactions to college football playoffs, the NFL playoffs, and reactions to what's going on in our world right now and what's trending. So see you again tomorrow for another tweet cap. And then we will see you throughout the weekend to react to all the football games, both at the college and pro level. My name is Matthew Brown, and I'll see you very soon.